Hey, what's going on, guys? Double 18 Set Shadow here. So this time around, we're going to be talking about a few smaller cards, in addition to lots of EVO cards that seem to be disappearing from the market. So let's go ahead and get started for today. Our first item is a new amulet from set 4 called Spring Green Protection, which is played in Forest Craft and currently has a lot of listings available. 36 cents to start off with a market price of 45 cents. And I will note that this card does have a Code Geass collaboration version with C2 as well, which also contributes to the lower price overall. But we have lots of copies available, around 40 cents, so easy to pick up, and you can find a lot of use out of it for a number of different Forestcraft based decks. Then we've got Demon Lord Ector, which also has a collaboration with Code Geass right now. This one's also a gold, but at this point, also not too high priced at all. It's 36 cents market price right now, sells for 30 to 40 cents. We do have a lot of copies available for under 30 cents though, so it's very easy to pick up if you're looking to build Necrocharge at this point. Angel of Chaos is the next one. This one is actually from set 3, and I covered it once before as a legendary that just did not get a lot of value. And it still isn't too expensive, but it is worth noting that the price has gone up a little bit in terms of market price. It's currently $179 and it's selling for $130ish to almost $2. And when it comes to available listings, we're looking at least $2 to pick it up right now. And there are a lot of copies available among the listings, and 11 listings overall. It's not as cheap as it was before, but it's still very cheap to pick up. And the super legendary of it is also going up in market price value at this point. It's currently $6.15, up from about $5. And it still sells for almost $10, although it's very sparingly that it actually sells off. We're looking at prices from the $6 to $8 range with very few copies there. And then it actually goes up to $11 to $12. Interesting to see. But because it doesn't sell that much, it's probably not going to get up there. Wingy, Chirpy, Gemstone. Now we're going to start talking about some of these EVOs that are starting to run low. This is the EVO for Chirpy Gemstone, which is out of set 3, and it has 8 listings right now with a market price that has been increasing since mid-March, and it's currently 96 cents market price, and it's been selling for $1 to almost $2, and we have a fair amount of listings that are still underneath $2. But then we get to about for the most part, they're basically $1 to $2. But then you also have ones that are stuck with $5 shipping tags if you want to pick those up. So even though they look cheaper, it's still kind of up there. Ancient Alchemist has been going down in price for the most part for its EVO, but it undulates. At this point, the undulation is just going down in market price, but do be aware that this card is likely to see more play as we get into future sets. So if you need to pick up EVOs of this, they are currently selling for $1.50, and then we have listings going up to $2 with a fair amount of $1.50 ones at this point. But again, I don't see this card really getting that much lower, so if you do want to build Dirt Rune, it's best to have a number of these in your back pocket. Cristia Lily is also running low on its EVO listings. This one is from set 2 and is a silver. 8 listings overall with a market price of 51 cents. It has sold mostly around the 50-cent mark, but it did sell for 125 as well. When it comes to available listings, we do have a number of copies that are under $1, but then it also gets paired with a pretty high shipping cost. And for the most part, we're starting to see listings get into the $1.50 range here. Lily is played here and there at this point, but I'd say it's a really good tech option for Forest as we go along. The Vampire Nobles Evolved form is also short on listings for the non-foil. I remember I talked about the foil a lot, but it's at 9 listings right now with its market price increasing, and it's currently 46 cents. And when it comes to sales, it's still selling for 39 cents, with most listings available for closer to 50 cents at this point. We are looking at it just kind of getting consolidated, though, when we take a look at one listing with over 37 copies, while the rest of them mostly just have 1 or 2 copies available with a few exceptions. Alexander is a legendary from set 2 that has been going down in value over time and is currently at a market price of $6.68, where it used to be closer to 10. It's been selling, and it's been all over. The last few sales we've seen go from $3.50 all the way to $13. And available listings are at $4 to $6, $7 overall when we take a look. Ultimately, it is still cheaper. I'm still interested to see why we had someone buy this at $12.50 more recently when there were so many other cheaper ones. Just a call out, Close-Knit Ambitions. Well, this card is incredibly cheap to pick up for its super legendary. While the super legendary has increased in market price value, that's barely anything, only about 10 cents. Players are picking this up for almost $4 though, and listings available are mostly at $1 to pick up, so very easy to pick up at this point. And I would really just see it as a nice collectible to have, given that it is a... yeah, what would I say? It's an Uma Musume collectible. It has almost all the characters on it from the initial season. So, for collectability, I'd say it's pretty good. Demonium Punk Devil. This is the prize card for the shop tournament, as well as a gold from Flame of Levitine, which is set 3. And I do want to point out that the regular gold is pretty short on listings. 9 overall, starting at $1 right now. While you take a look at the Springfest shop tournament promos, and they're not too far off. There are 12 listings on the entry version, which start around $2. And if you want the hot stamp for the top 3, that one is almost $15 with a much higher market price. And if we take a look at them with a few base listings, let's see. Yeah, it's $1 to $1.50 for the gold. And then a pretty solid $2 if you want the shop tournament variant. And when it comes to the prize version, that's $15 to $20 for the initial few listings. So they're not too far off in terms of the gold and promo. Probably better just to pick up the promo at this point then. The alternate art of Angelic Snipe, the promo, is not really moving anywhere with its current market price. It's $5.84, and players are still buying this for $5 to $6, and when it comes to available quantities, they're mostly around $5.50. We have copies that eventually move up to $6, but there isn't much consolidation here, so there's still capability to buy this around the $5.50 mark. As to whether or not it can keep going up, it'll get played over a bunch of different formats, but just not too much, I'd say. And then the final card is the promo of Trail of Light, which I had noted that this was looking at a buyout sometime back, but it looks like that did not happen, and we have a lot of copies available under $1 again, where players are picking this up at 69 cents, and we have a lot of copies at 70 and 69 cents right now, so there's plenty of room to pick this up cheap if you still need to pick up the foil. Down the line, we should see more play of this in other formats, but it's still really cheap if you just want the foil. But eventually, I think we do get an alt art of it. At least in Japan, it exists, so we should get that at some point. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys later.